Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. We have two very summery candles for you today. This is from Kringle Candle and from a limited 3-wick release with fruits all over it. It was a fruity kind of release for sure. So I can't remember exactly how many candles were in that collection. It was more than I thought they should have had. I want to say 8. But I'm kind of pulling that number out of my ass. I'm not really sure actually how many there were. I don't know that they were all very successful, and there were at least a couple that were completely not successful. I want to say there was a dragon fruit one, or maybe a lychee one. Is that a fruit? I think it's a fruit. So there were a couple that just were really terrible. The raspberry one, I think the raspberry one was not good either. Yikes. I highly recommend to you Raspberry Rosé from Bath & Body Works. So great, it will blow your mind. Okay, so I bought 2 of the candles in this collection, not when they initially came out, but they were running a really deep sale at a certain point, and I picked up a couple along with some other things, coral included, that I gave that review for a couple days ago. So I got 2 of these fruit candles. I got Pitanga Peach and I got crushed blueberries. If you don't know, I am obsessed with Yankee Candle Blueberry, like the original OG candle from like the 70s. Our house smelled like blueberry a lot of the year, and I know that it's polarizing now and that there's a lot of people that really hate it, and objectively I might hate it as well, except that I grew up on it, and so there's like a deep nostalgia factor there. I'm always looking for a good blueberry candle, and it may be partly because of just all of the memories of that particular blueberry candle. So anyway, I will go a long way for a blueberry candle. I know I wanted to pick this one up. These were quote unquote painted jars, but again, they're done by the computer. And I'm not sure if this works particularly well. So especially on the peach one, I don't know if you can see, but there are like obvious lines from where the computer has like printed them. I don't think it adds I just think it looks kind of cheap. So I don't know that I would do this kind of thing again with the high gloss, but God bless. So crushed blueberries is sold out, unfortunately. Pitanga Peach is not, but lucky for you, Pitanga Peach performed better than the crushed blueberries. So there you go. So let's start out with the crushed blueberries. So unfortunately, Kringle was really phoning it in with the with the scent notes given. In fact, honestly, reading them, I'm just like, it would have been better if you just didn't give us any notes at all. Even just like a cute blurb, the way that Bath & Body Works does it sometimes, where they're just like, oh, we can't be bothered, here's a blurb. Top notes are berry, juicy. Mid notes, summery, as in the season. Base notes, fresh blueberries. So really from that, all we get is that this is a blueberry candle, but we kind of already know that from the name, from the branding, from the marketing, so the notes are not very helpful. So when I first smelled this, I thought, oh, I don't know. There was a very like a milky note, a cream note in this that I was not prepared for, because the notes just mention blueberries, not cream. And the name mentions crushed blueberries, but I'm getting a very strong milk note. When I initially hauled it, it's kind of going sour too, in the way that like milk does or cream does when it's warmed. So it kind of feels like a blueberry a la mode, which is not a bad point of view. It's not a bad genre or vibe. It just would have been great to have known that beforehand. I don't know that I like milk candles, and I'm not a gourmand person. So the idea of like warmed ice cream or cream with milk, I would not have bought the candle. I just want straight up blueberry all the way, straight down Woodward. You know what I mean? The blueberry note here, I would not say it's botanical, and I don't even know that it's like fresh necessarily, but it is macerated and jammy and sugared. It is a tiny bit blueberry Pop-Tart filling, just a tiny bit, but not like overwhelmingly so that it smells super processed or synthetic. It doesn't go that direction at all. Just a little tiny bit of that like candied Pop-Tart kind of blueberry, which I'm kind of fond of, to be perfectly honest, along with that cream. There, like I said, there's a sourness and there's a little bit of there's an off note in it, at least on cold. Along with the artificiality of the blueberry Pop-Tart note, it just kind of, the whole thing kind of comes across in a very like harsh and possibly inauthentic way. I did not like this on cold very much, and I would not have bought it if I had smelled it in the store. That said, I'm very happy to say that once burned, it really just kind of gave a straight up blueberry. Yes, it's a jammy blueberry, like it's not a fresh picked off the vine blueberry. It's not an authentic or a botanical blueberry. It's definitely that like stewed, like blueberry pie filling kind of blueberry, but that's really nice, right? And the milk or cream note did soften up considerably once it was burned. So that was good. It wasn't like I was getting a ton of like warm cream coming off the candle. I was really mostly getting blueberry, so I was happy with that. The problem with this candle is that the strength and throw on it was so bad. And it just got worse. I mean, toward the end, I just threw it in the guest bathroom, shut the door, and even so, hardly anything, you know? I would say that this candle maxed out at like a 5 in the back bedroom. And this is not the kind of candle that you really want in the back bedroom. It's a candle that you want pride of place on your kitchen counter or whatever else, filling your space to some extent, especially in a month like July or August, right? That did not happen. This candle was very shy and retreating, and I would not buy it. So I can't recommend it in terms of strength and throw. It's not even available. If this candle was really firing the way that it should, like up in the 6 to 7 range, somewhere close to where that raspberry rosé is from Bath and Body Works, we'd be having a whole different story. As with raspberry rosé, this candle is very basic, and it's actually more basic than raspberry rosé because raspberry rosé, if I'm not mistaken, has a little bit of floral and a little bit of musk in it. This does not have any of those. I mean, it's just really kind of a mid-range, jammy, blueberry tart, blueberry pie filling kind of vibe. If a crust note was added, I think you'd make a lot of gourmand people happy. But across the board, the volume just needed to have been much, much higher. If it was, it would still be basic, but really nice. Really nice for July, you know? Understanding the assignment and really giving us crushed blueberries and sugared and macerated, yeah? Burned fine all the way down to the whip clips. Hardly any sooting at all. So it burned great from that perspective, as one would expect from soy, but also as one would expect from soy, did not get a whole lot of strength and throw. So it's unfortunate. I wouldn't repurchase it. And even if it had fired really hard, it's basic. It's basic, and it doesn't like blow your mind or change your life in terms of being the blueberry candle that you must have and must burn every single year, the way that I feel about Yankee Candle Blueberry, if you know what I mean. Okay, so let's talk about Peach. Peach performed much better. Pitanga Peach, I was also very upset about this candle when I smelled it. because again, oh man, it's aggressive, it's sharp, it's a little sour, yeah. Both candles did not smell very good on cold and improved a great deal upon being burned. So there's that. This candle, and I said it when I began, is very high acidic and sharp. And I was not prepared for that. To me, this smells like there's citrus added to the candle and almost like a pineapple citrus note way on top. I actually thought when I smelled it and hauled it cold that it was a pineapple peach candle. And I'm not a huge fan of pineapple in candles. And I just wanted a straight up peach candle. So the notes on this one, top notes, juicy and peachy, because that's the way we're rolling with these. Mid notes, wild, sweet. Base notes, tropical. Okay, so this is what also led me to believe that it may in fact be a pineapple. It could also be another kind of citrus fruit, but especially because they mentioned tropical, it leads me to believe even more that it's probably pineapple. And Kringle Candle has come out with a lot of pineapple candles within the last like 12, 16 months. So again, I'm kind of confident it's pineapple and peach. So the nectar and the sweet floralness of a peach is kind of cutting what is a really bright, acidic, tangy, almost sour, I think pineapple vibe to it. Those are your top notes way up on top. And the peach is just kind of grounding a little bit. The peach is still in the mid-range. So this is a mid to top kind of candle. Again, though, fairly basic, very fruity, very loud. I had to look it up when I hauled it. And then I forgot to mention it. Pitanga is actually another fruit. I thought it was like a variety of peach. It's not a variety of peach. Pitanga is actually a fruit, and I think it is like a tropical fruit, and it is very tart and citrusy and acidic. So it is possible that this does have pitanga in it. I'm not familiar, and I've never been in a region where pitanga has been a thing, but it's possible it does have a pitanga note. If it's not true pitanga, then it is something that evokes something like pitanga, i.e. a pineapple or a citrus, orange kind of fruit, or something mixed together. When it was burned, I got a little bit more peach than I got of that citrus sour note. So I was happy with that, like what I was worried about with the high pineapple kind of went away or into the candle. And I can't say that it's not a good blend, the peach and pineapple kind of situation. The pineapple gives it like a robustness and a sparklingness that otherwise perhaps it would not have. It's also keeping it sweet as opposed to musky. So you've probably heard some people be like, peaches smell like body odor to me or something like that. Peaches do have like kind of a musky smell to them sometimes. And if that's here in a very authentic peach note, the high citrus notes are actually kind of cutting it and masking it with those like high, sharp kind of acidic notes. It's not a bad candle, and the strength and throw in this was much better. It wasn't a powerhouse by any stretch of the imagination, but in like the back bedroom, for instance, I could get it up to a 6.5 or a 7. In the open concept, I don't know that it did particularly well, but it didn't do horrible. In the open concept, it was probably a 5.5 at least, or a 6. You know what I mean? So this was not a candle that necessarily had to be put in the back bedroom, in the guest bathroom until like the 2/3 mark. At the 2/3 mark, the candle just like had it. And soy sometimes does that. You get a very variable strength and throw. I would say the bottom third, it wasn't giving me hardly anything. And into the guest bathroom it went. To be honest, one of the best peach candles that I've burned, but the bar is kind of low. I'm always chasing a great peach candle, and I have a really hard time finding one that I really like. I don't know that I love this. I wouldn't repurchase it, but is it one of the better ones, peach candles that I've burned? Yes, absolutely. And it's available right now on the Kringle website, $26 even. Maybe wait for a sale. But hey, when you're making those Halloween or fall orders, maybe throw a candle in there that you could burn in the month of August, and you totally could for this. It's actually high peach season right now. Maybe by the time that you get it, it won't be. But in honor of that, think about getting a peach candle. I thought it performed very well, and the high citrus pineapple aspect of it blended very nicely, unexpectedly, I thought. So yeah. So 2 cheers for Kringle on this. Wasn't bad, wasn't great. Unfortunately, I think these 2 candles were like the best of the 8 that they put out. So I think that's probably not a great bar, because I don't know that either of these is like mind-blowing, but I do think that the peach and the blueberry were the most successful, if all reviews, mainly from the brand ambassadors who got quite a lot of them to review, if that is to be believed, these 2 are the best of the bunch. And of the 2, I think Pitanga Peach is the most successful. So there you go. Crushed blueberries wouldn't have been bad if it had had better strength and throw. There you go, my friends. Happy peach, happy blueberry, happy August, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.